So I'm here to talk to you today about a small Scottish Government project we did a couple of years ago, which looked at lamb castration and why farmers were not changing from their current practice of standard rubber ring castration. So what is the problem? Millions of lambs are castrated each year, and that's in the UK alone. We don't actually know how many lambs are being castrated, but we know it's a global problem, and we know that castration is painful. So why castrate? So the reasons we knew were unwanted pregnancies, inbreeding, poor meat quality, so taint, and behavioural problems. So we decided to organise 2 farmer focus groups where 23 farmers in total came along to, and we wanted to explore their current practice, the barriers to higher welfare practices, which is what I'm going to focus on today, and their ideal solutions. So the higher welfare practices that we explored with them were Burdizzos, which is a clamp, and short scrotum castration, which are both thought to be less painful than the standard methods. So we used this model, and as you can see, it's quite similar to the trans-theoretical model. So this is adapted from the precaution adoption process model. And the reason that we chose this model was we'd done other work in the past, and we hadn't had good engagement with the trans-theoretical model. And we were also interested in stage 1, which is the unaware of the issue, and the point where decided not to act, because we were a bit concerned that quite often we group farmers into not changing, and that's really not fair. If they've considered changing, it is a different outcome. So the findings that we got were that most farmers, all but one farmer in the group, were castrating most or all of their lambs using standard rubber ring castration. However, they all knew that this was painful, and one of the farmers used uncomfortable. So why were they not changing to these more welfare-friendly practices? So I'm just going to go through it in the stages of the model. So they were unaware. I don't believe they were unaware of the pain that the methods they were using were causing, but it was not enough to make them change. They didn't seem to be aware of the level of public concern towards the animals being in pain. They did not know about the alternative castration methods. Unengaged. I think a lot of the farmers, if you had to group them, would be in this stage. They felt quite upset by the word mutilation. A lot of them spoke about feeling villainised, alienated, and I know it's a theme that has been discussed today. They also didn't understand inconsistencies. So inconsistencies that they perceived that we cared about lamb castration, but not calf castration as much. And also inconsistencies with legislation in other countries, such as New Zealand. And also they were unengaged because in the past there had been restrictions on the supermarkets and buyers wanting lambs that had been castrated, and to some extent they believed that that was still the case. So moving along this stage model of behaviour change, the section of deciding to act. So some farmers had decided to adopt short scrotum castration, one of the less painful methods that we spoke about. However, they didn't feel there was enough information for them to adopt this change. And also, they'd spoken to other farmers who had tried it, and they had said that it didn't work for them. So the role of a champion farmer became really important here, that they'd been discouraged by advisors from trying new, different methods. And also, they'd been told that it was really labour intensive, and I'll go on to that in a minute. But one of the main things that came through was the risk. Risk was a huge problem to them. The risk that they didn't trust the method, that if it wasn't effective, how did they know it was effective, these methods? So then they might have other problems, but one of the main risks was that they wouldn't get the lambs finished in time, and there would be no market for them. So moving further along the process to acting and maintenance. So some farmers had tried the methods, as I said, that were in the group, and they had reverted back. And it was because they said what they'd been told would happen hadn't, so they felt they'd been miscommunicated to for the alternative methods. But the ones that were not castrating, there was only one farmer that had tried to rear his animals without castrating them. And he had continued, but the others didn't want to do it because of the lack of market and separation. So what now? Oh, sorry, I'm a slide behind. We could create an intervention plan, and we certainly have. We've done that already. But I think the way forward is to try and open a dialogue where farmers are included so that we can engage them in the debate and we can use them as the champion farmers. And also we can look at ways to reduce farmers' risk working with the buyers, and also we could maybe even create new and improved castration methods. Thank you very much.